Theatricality and deception. Powerful agents to the uninitiated. But we are initiated, aren't we, Bruce? Members of the League of Shadows.
The League of Shadows was an ancient and powerful secret society whose stated purpose was to restore balance to the world by enacting purges at various points in history.
We sacked Rome, loaded trade ships with plague rats, burned London to the ground.
Here it is, the League of Shadows. Hey guys, welcome back to Flashback. I'm joined here with Pete again.
Hello.
We're going to talk about the League of Shadows in a Batman miniature game.
I'd hardly call restoring ecological balance to the Earth a twisted scheme. But to each his own, Detective.
In this episode, we're going to talk about what makes a clan unique, what is the League of Shadows, who's in it, who's hot, who's not. Stay with us. So, we're going to get stuck into it. We're going to talk about the main man himself, Ra's al Ghul. Okay, so as you can see, we've got a lovely display of what he can do here. Okay, he first of all, he's a leader, so he's actually the only leader with the League of Shadows at the moment.
Yeah.
He's armed with a sword.
2 blood damage, which is decent for any weapon really in this game, I think.
Yeah, note that his protecting as was errated to a sharp instead, which is fair enough. Although I do think he's missing handy, but apparently it'd make him broken because he's strength 3+.
Which is very decent with the 2 blood damage weapon.
Yeah, so you can see his stats are pretty good. He's got like a willpower 8, which is up there with what Batman or any other leader has really.
Yeah, and you pay the points for it as well, I think, because he's got a ton of special rules which we'll go into in a minute.
Yeah, reputation 120. I don't know. I'm kind of like, it's really expensive.
It is. I mean, I know Sai will probably want to hold that up against Joker's cost of 90. So
yeah,
in comparison.
Come to that. I'd be a prime league player myself, so you know. But whatever, we'll come to it. He's attack and defense 5 and 5, so and a strength 3, so he really can dish out the damage.
Yeah.
And endurance 8. He is a beast in combat. He really has the works.
Yeah.
The problem is, I think he's a bit of a lone gun, and you know he is vulnerable to certain things. But you know, we'll talk about it, his stats at the moment. So the traits he has, he's got Mastermind. Okay, Mastermind adds
it's the counter.
Adds the counter. Yeah, so you add an extra counter in. So if you're on whatever the first mission, you get 4 counters each. You'll get 5 counters for yourself, which, you know what, that could actually go against you too.
Yeah, well,
it's not always good.
Yeah, yeah. It's better than not having it though.
Do you know what? This is a tip. The close combat teams actually are better in longer games because the teams that need, the gangs that need bullets, tend to do better in the shorter round.
Yeah, you run out of bullets quite quick
so
if you've got a gun heavy clan.
Exactly, so it's actually quite a good one, and it's quite a smart one.
Yeah.
Right, we'll look into his next one along, Martial Artist. So numerical inferiority.
Yeah, so if your guy is outnumbered, if he's got 2 or more guys in base contact with him, he loses a defense dice per enemy above 1. So if
it's a defense value.
Defense value. So if you've got 3 guys in base contact unchallenged, normally you'd lose what, 2 defense.
Yeah, absolutely. And
so you hit easier, obviously.
And obviously Ra's here, defense 5, solid. He's actually always hard to hit. That actually does count for.
So the martial artist cancels that effect, so he doesn't suffer it. So he's always going to be defense 5, so he's tricky to hit.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Never mind the fact he's got sustained defense as well. So for every 2 defense counters you put in, he gets 3 dice. That's not accumulative, so he doesn't get, he can't put 2 dice in, it has to be against 1 model. So if he's attacked by 3 separate guys, he can't do 1, 1, 1.
Right.
1 each, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
But you know, that just makes him amazing at defending himself. Never mind, he's already defense 5.
One on one, he's probably going to beat anybody.
He cannot get hit.
No.
No. Pretty much. Grand Strategist up next.
That's scenarios, isn't it?
Yeah, it's to do with the start of the game. You get your counters when you get 3 points each, don't you?
3 scenario points.
So you get 3 scenario points. So you get Strategist, which is +1. He has got 2 for being a grand strategist. So you're going to be a whopping 5 to start with. So that's pretty meaty, like to actually start the game.
You pull some nasty tricks
Before you've started the game.
I mean, once we get along further with more practice games, I suppose we'll start thinking of ways. You know, you'd be thinking of ways to use that to best draw out the advantages of the clan. Going back to what Si said earlier about the longer game suits these guys because they've got to dash over, draw out the bullets if the other clan's got bullets, and then go in and start chopping, basically, as you'll see in a minute.
Yeah. Right, up next, Immortal. I think it's a bit of a weak one, really. It means that
it's a fluffy one. I think it's a fluffy one. So normally, if you're killed, blood damage fills up, you're out of the game. You're full casualty. You've been murdered. This guy, he only ever counts as knocked out for VP purposes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he never dies.
It's the Lazarus pit at work. It literally is. He's hundreds of years old.
Yeah.
He can't die. We can't kill him in one game. So no, he'll never die.
He's dragged away and thrown into his pit again.
Immune to everything. Next up, Elite Boss Ninjas.
Yeah, Elite Boss Ninja. So he shares that with his daughter Talia, who we'll get onto in a little while, and it just means that normally you can only take an elite brackets ninja henchman or sidekick or whatever. You can only ever take one of those unless you've got an elite boss ninja as your leader. So this guy enables you to take the rest of the clan. So does Talia. Other than that, there's no effect really.
No,
it just makes the clan work. It's kind of pointless in a way, really, but within the rule set. It comes into play more in other clans where you've got a few, 2 or 3 elite henchmen, and you've got to bring the boss if you want to bring more than one of them. With this one, you've got to bring one or the other, and you can't take any of the ninjas, so the clan is kind of moving them, unless you've gone character heavy, hero heavy, I should say.
Yeah, it's a tough one actually. We're up Order next.
Order. I forget. That's where you can.
You tell one of your guys. You can actually get one special counter. You spend it, you can get one of your guys to actually rearrange his counters. That's actually much better than it sounds, because the willpower is so low on your minions that you actually need them to constantly maybe defend or whatever. You might have one guy set up to run, and then before you know it, oh, you know what, it's wasted because someone's actually run into you anyway. Yeah. So having that actual order there, and you know what, it's not all bad having a special counter with Raish, because you could stick one on special. He's got 8 counters to start with, which is a lot. But stick him one on special. If he doesn't actually use it as an order, he can go in and use it with Deathly Strike.
Yeah. It's a diet trickster, isn't it? Very small. You wish you had trickster.
Oh yeah, everyone wishes they had trickster. It's more akin to veteran, where people can move 1 counter. This one you can move 2, but you have to actually activate him, and you have to be able to see who you're actually doing it to. So it's not actually. There's a lot of little and ifs and buts to it. Yeah,
not perfect. You got to be able to see it. And I raised the question when we were talking about this before, whether stealth, which is on some of the ninjas, means they can only be seen
but
20 or less, 20 centimeters or less. But that applies to enemies only.
Enemies was the first word.
Yeah.
Well done, Kaya.
Yeah.
And next up, Persuasive.
Persuasive. I forget this one as well.
Right. We got 1 special, 1 attack. What you can do is, an enemy that you can see, you can actually force them to take their turn next. That is potentially game breaking and game winning, because you know yourself.
When you start your turn, you've got a plan.
You have those setups, and then you suddenly do that, and you force that guy who you don't want to move.
There's no compunction to move though, is there? With that, you don't have to move him. You just got to activate.
You just have to activate him, but that's still out of the way.
He's done. So you're thinking, damn, I was waiting for that guy to move out of the way before I ran him in. If this guy forces you to activate the guy who's blocked off, your plan's intact.
I think it's an even bigger deal with a smaller gang.
Yeah.
So Watchmen, for instance.
Yeah.
Who've got 5 models. Well, you've activated one of them. You don't necessarily want to run in and get battered by 12 guys, so you're going to pull back.
I presume you could do that if you got 1 guy in combat and you're waiting for support to come in or something, and then Raz makes you activate that guy. He's got to sort of flail his fists uselessly without any support or backup. So very tricksy, that one, definitely. It's a good skill.
Last up, Deathly Strike with Sword.
Yeah, this I believe is spend special, which is the downside of this one. And then your attack for that round with the sword gains crit casualty. So if you roll a 6 on that collateral damage dice, you've killed your opponent no matter what. I think that's great, thinking about, you know, things like the one-shot gun and the Joker clan.
Just about to bring that up.
But, well, you've got to spend a lot of counters to activate that one, but this is one special. I think it's a really nice one to have up your sleeve, you know. You've got to roll a 6, obviously, which is always annoying, but you've got a spare special, or if you're in combat and you think, yeah, you know, we can reduce attack by 1 and throw it onto that, and who knows, if you use it on a big guy, you can take down somebody like Clayface.
I wonder if there'll ever be a way you can re-roll your collateral die. And not, you know, I know it's not there at the moment, such as the brutal effect. Not there now, but I'm wondering if there's something, someone will one day pass on this effect that you can re-roll that, because then that's that's amazing.
So what we're looking for there is somebody with Deathly Strike anything plus brutal, because then you get to re-roll it. That would be really
filthy. 1 in 3 chance that you're going to kill something.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get on to our next section.
Detective. You should have killed me.
Yes, he should have. What kind of a man sacrifices his own daughter?
Next up, we're going to talk about the sidekicks. We're going to start up with Film Bane.
That's his name, Film Bane.
Yeah, don't get him confused. Anyway, he's 96 reputation, so he's under 100 points. He's a sidekick, which, you know, he can do the usual sidekick stuff.
Yeah, stand in for leader if he needs to.
Yeah, yes. Willpower 7, decent enough.
Yeah, not bad, not bad.
His stats are displayed there, you know, but attack 5 and defense 4, so, you know, his attack is pretty good. Yeah. Defense, I think that lets him down a little bit.
Yeah, I think with the attack you need to mention the fact that he is unarmed, isn't he? There's no big sword here, or, you know, knuckle dusters or anything like that.
Yeah, and do you know what, his endurance 8 as well, that is quite tough.
Yeah.
So, you know, he's not bad.
He's a slugger, isn't he? So he's just knocking stuns out of people, I think, is the main thing for this guy.
Yeah, 96 points. He's got 0 funding, which is always good, but 96 points, I think he's...
We'll see what the rule. I've not decided on this guy. Don't think I've actually seen him in action yet, so...
Yeah, I've played with him twice. I've played with him twice. Anyway.
Moving on.
Okay, so we talked about brutal before. You get to reroll the collateral die.
Yeah, that's nice. It'd be better if it was on a sword with crit death.
If you could, but yeah, not that good.
So basically, this guy, you can re-roll his collateral dice, get a 6, and do an extra stun.
Yeah, from his already 2 stuns from his.
So that's not awesome on this guy, I don't think. No.
Right, Talia, True Love. Oh, sorry, we should mention the brutal. It's not that bad, because seeing as you re-roll your brutal die, you can actually knock down, so he's more likely to do that.
Oh, true. Yeah, you've got a chance not only of doing the crit, but you know, matching one of the damage dies and dices and knocking them down.
And as attack 5, you're pretty likely to do it if you're throwing a lot of attack in there.
Fair enough.
His willpower, I think, lets down a little bit there, perhaps.
Yeah.
Because then he's not defending, and he's already defense 4, which is he can get hit.
Yeah.
But anyway, True Love Talia.
Yeah, so that's the +1. +1 attack counter and a +1 willpower if Talia is on the board and she croaks, which is nice. There's a lot of this around the game, isn't there? There's a lot of True Love this and True Love that.
Yeah.
Harley's got it for Joker.
It's very, it's fluffy, but it's actually, you know what? I've never seen it come into play.
No, not
in our 20 odd games.
Yeah.
Never. It's just whatever. Okay, next up, strategist. It's the little version of.
Grand strategist,
the grand one. So +1, not +2 points in the start of the game.
Scenario points.
So by default, if you had him as your leader or whatever, you get 4 points, not 3.
Is that combined? So if you had this guy as a sidekick and Raz as the leader, that would combo, yeah?
Yep.
That's better.
There you go, 6 points.
Yeah.
So that's pretty.
So the fluff behind that, I presume, is these guys have planned what they're up to long before.
That's a big plan. That's a big plan, but that's a lot of points you've just sunk into that.
Nice and fluffy then.
All right. Next up, strategist. Oh, we just did it. Kill them.
Kill them. So this guy can shout, kill them. Costs, what does it cost size? Special, is it?
It's just one special, yeah.
One special, and everybody, all henchmen within 10.
Henchmen 10.
Get +1 attack counter. So that's good.
Which is actually very, very good because the willpower of all these ninjas is so rubbish that they don't actually have very many attack counters in the first place. So it can really boost them up with defense and whatever. So in that regard, that is fantastic.
Yeah, it'd be very handy if everybody's circled around a very big target and everybody's chopping away trying to take it down.
Already, he sort of does more than Raish because he's got that.
Yeah.
Just because he's trying to help the gang with one of their big weaknesses, which is not enough counters to go around.
That's it.
Anyway, Insensible up next, which I think is insensitive in the rules or whatever, translation error, but it is the one that you never lose willpower,
which is
no matter how much you're hurt.
Very big.
Just to do getting hurt though.
Yeah.
So I think you can still lose it from other means, but
yeah, other effects. But I mean, the most common way is people are beating you up. You're going to lose.
Yeah.
Your counters, and this guy doesn't, which is
this guy is very beatable. But that just means that he's a tank. But much the same as a Titan Bane or a big Bane.
He's kind of, I'm getting the feeling he's kind of a blocking character, a hold 'em up sort of guy.
Yeah. Combo with unarmed.
Combo with unarmed, that's where he does, normally with unarmed you only do one stun, if you're hitting somebody with your bare fist, but this guy's got, oh no sorry, this is the one where he gets, for every 2 attack counters he spends, he gets 3 attack dice.
He was talking about reinforced gloves.
Skipping to reinforced gloves.
Which is what he just said.
2 stun instead of 1 from reinforced gloves.
There's a point here that I used to wonder, why is reinforced gloves in the traits and not in your weapons? It's because your reinforced gloves cannot be stolen.
Makes sense, yeah, I didn't
Did you not notice that? It's because of the stolen rule, so Catwoman can't take your gloves.
So, oh, your gloves are gone.
Yeah, okay. I think it's actually phrased wrong. Reinforced gloves, it should be actually just like big fist.
Knuckle dusters.
Yeah, this guy's got massive hands. And last,
Runaway. Yeah, it's a good favourite of mine because my characters used to get arrested quite a lot by the GCPD. Runaway is immune to arrest, which is great. That's where when you're knocked out, somebody with arrest, usually Batman or maybe Gordon or somebody like that, runs over, touches you, you're out of the game.
Yeah, one special, it's easy.
You're busted.
Yeah. It's handy, alright.
This guy's an escape artist. So
yeah, although you know what, Runaway is very, it's only handy against that guy, but whatever, it's
to be fair, if you need to use it, you're probably in trouble, aren't you? That's all. Bane's on his in posterior.
I agree.
Not nearly knocked out.
Next up,
yeah,
let's go for Talia Al Ghul.
That's it. Daughter of Raish.
Yep.
Yeah, she's got the first thing that jumps out is the point cost 71. That's well, I've been comparing this one to the classic Harley character, who's about 75, I think, from memory, and sort of looking at the two of them, and I'm not sure. I think Talia comes out pretty much on top here. Number 1, she's 71 points, so she's the same cost.
I like her. She's, you know what? I've really shined to her using her as the new leader.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the best thing. Like, she's not the greatest fighter, and she's very flimsy in a way, but
glass. Well, I won't say hammer. I say glass scalpel.
Yeah. Because you know what? She does do the damage.
She did in the last game. Yeah, she was shooting through people, and she left, right, and centre, and then dancing away.
She's got a big weakness. Strength.
Yeah, strength.
Strength 5.
Yeah.
Which just means if she's not putting a whole lot of dice in, she's really not. It's not like she's guaranteed to wound.
Got 2 things against that though. She's got handy, which is reroll to hit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, reroll to hit, and sharp, which is reroll to wound. Attack 4, so you've got a maximum of 4 dice.
But it's just attack 4 to me isn't that great because it's blockable as well.
Yeah.
So you can't, and she's only willpower 6. Let's mention that. The willpower 6 is a big deterrent because suddenly. Where if you put 4 attack in there and you put 2 defense, suddenly it's like she's not going to defend very much.
She better only have 1 target nearby.
Yeah. I don't think she can take anything on her own.
I mean, there's one rule. We'll skip ahead to another rule side. We were talking about this. To help her in her sort of, she's got sneak attack, which would make her. She's probably going to take a guy out with sneak attack. If there's a guy, the sneak attack is where if you start the is it your activation or your turn?
Your activation.
Your activation. So if she starts her activation out of line of sight, so of an enemy, so hidden around the corner, and then she dashes round and attacks them. Because of sneak attack, they didn't see it coming, and they're not allowed to use defense dice.
Yes.
So
still trying to roll 5.
5s with a reroll to hit and a reroll to wound. So it's 5s and then fail, you reroll again. Not too shabby, I don't think. I think she is basically an assassin. She's going to take most small base guys out, I think.
Endurance
with
endurance
a sneak attack.
I think that's a little bit.
Yeah, and then she needs to get the hell out of there. And the thing she's got to help her get the hell out of there is acrobat. So she's moved 12 basic instead of 10. She can dance over crates, difficult terrain. She can move through.
Walk through
models.
Yeah. She does nothing to stand up.
So there's no blocking her off. You can't block an alley off. She can dance over cars and get out of the way quick. But it's that finesse of maybe doing a sneak attack and she's in there. You need to make sure she's not vulnerable, because if 2 or 3 guys come back at her, she's going to struggle.
I don't know if you've noticed, but every time I use her, I actually go in one turn, go in, hit hard,
and then you run.
And then I'm there, and I'm really praying you don't hit her hard back.
Yeah.
And then the next turn, she used the first activation, and it's usually hit and run.
Yeah, get out of there. Yeah.
But that's really. But you know what? We have had some games where she has been falling over constantly.
Yeah.
And I've just been throwing everything to try and save her, and it's quite rogue.
Yeah. So she's very glass scalpel, definitely. She's. I've killed her a few times, and by ganging up on her. And
I don't think I've got her.
Wait, yeah, I've tried to.
You've
had two guys on her, and she's usually chopped one down and then legged it,
Definitely. Countless times, yes.
So she shares that with Harley, classic Harley, the acrobat, but Harley's not got the fighting, the damage output that this one has. So
Katana actually is.
Katana is 2 blood damage on top of all this. So although she's hitting on whatever she hits on the defense value. She's got a reroll to hit and then reroll to wound on a 5-0, but for every one of those you get through, it's 2 blood. And that'll make a real mess of a low-level henchman.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about her traits. Affinity to Batman. So,
pretty simple. She can join a Batman clan, can't she?
Yeah, she joins Batman as a henchman.
He used to be
There you go. Bit boring. Actually, I'm going to talk about the other one then. True Love Batman, so +1 willpower, +1 attack if Batman falls over.
Yeah.
But
if Batman falls over and he was on your team, you're probably in big trouble anyway, so it's largely irrelevant if you ask me.
Yeah.
Scheming 1. Go on, Si, you cover this one.
Okay,
you love it so much.
Yeah, scheming is when you have the passes in your turn for them having more models or whatever. Scheming means that you can actually do that. You do it when you're doing setting down your orders as well.
Yeah.
So that's
so it's pass.
Yeah,
I'm gonna pass. Skip the go. Yeah.
No, you do yours before me. So
yeah,
it's okay. Scheming. It's scheming then a number, but 1 in this case. It's alright.
Acrobat we've covered already briefly, but one thing we didn't mention was that Acrobat also allows you to dodge bullets. You can spend movement counters if you've got Acrobat to dodge. What's your dodging?
Movement test. So in her case, she's moving 3. Yeah. Movement 3, so she's done on a 3 or lower. But
50-50 chance of dodging a bullet for
pretty good.
Yeah, not bad.
Okay, well she's got Elite Boss Ninjas. This is why I usually take her.
She can fill in.
Yeah. She fills in for Raish. She just does the same thing as him, but 50 points cheaper.
Yeah.
So,
nowhere near as awesome though, but
no.
It's a good alternative, it depends how you're building your clan really.
Next up, Martial Artist.
Yeah, Bane's not got that. Raz has got that, hasn't he? Yes,
he does.
Has, yeah. And most of the rest of all the henchmen guys
this is
have that, and this is again the numerical inferiority rule. So if she's fighting 2 guys, normally she'd be on -1 defense during that fight because she's outnumbered. She ignores that rule, so that's pretty good. As we said before though, you don't probably want to have her outnumbered anyway for other reasons, but it's a bit of a bonus for it. Most of the guys in this clan have got that rule anyway, so that'll keep cropping up.
It is pretty much the gang-wide rule. Okay, that's Talia covered pretty much.
Yep.
Alright, so all over, I actually think that she's
good.
Very solid.
She's good, but you've got to be a little bit careful with her, haven't you?
Yes,
a little bit careful, but she's a good alternative leader to Raz. Definitely.
And the last person we're going to do with regards to the sidekicks isn't a sidekick, it's a free agent. It's Jonathan Crane, Mr. Scarecrow.
They scream and they cry. It is ready now.
Yeah. So he's a free agent, but he's affiliate League of Shadows. So I presume that means he can only.
It's the film version. Sorry,
film Scarecrow.
Film Scarecrow. He can only join the League of Shadows, and that's it. So he's a free agent as well. So they very much knit him into this one role, this one position. So he's 60 points, which
Not
is
bad. Cheap
reasonable.
enough.
He's got $200. Now, I actually think the League of Shadows is one of the only gangs that can really be frivolous with money. They don't care.
Yeah, because they're not bringing loads of guns, and guns tend to cost funding, don't they, on the card? Yeah.
So there's no guns. There's no guns in the clan. So there you go. Well, whatever. 200 for him, and the 200 is actually to pay for his spray. He's got an intoxication.
Drugs cost money.
So he's got a drug spray which has expansive, which is the flame template thing. You know, the big curvy one, which goes through everyone, and pretty much it's auto hit as well. It's absolutely filthy. The damage it's got different damage depending on how close you are to it as well. So it's got the 3 ranges. So it's blood for close range, stun. Rate of fire 1, so it's only going to be 1 dice when you actually do the hit, and ammo 3, and it's enervating
2.
2.
That's
So-
loose counters.
Yeah.
Innovating. So you
So that's all it does.
paralysed.
Oh right,
Side
okay.
of thing.
So it actually, so you're going to do a roll to see if you damage them,
Yeah.
and otherwise it's got 3 ammo. But the enervating is actually pretty nice because that's automatically going to apply.
That's better than the damage. So if you're a range 2 or 3, you're only taking a stun, but you're going to be innovated to the tune of 2 counters.
Very nice. Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah. So that's -2. Like, talk about a guy who you want to your first activation, and if your opponent's got like it's bunched up and ready,
Marching on you.
He's the guy you throw in first, spray him. They're all enervated too. See you later. All these counters. Suddenly they're on the back foot. They're gonna have to either come for you with hardly anything, or they're gonna have to back up.
Yeah. Pretty good.
Stat wise, he's a strength 5. So another
Rubbish. He's a guy in a suit.
whatever.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
come on, it's Cillian Murphy. It's Cillian, not Cillian. Cillian Murphy. He's like, what's he gonna do?
Yeah.
He's just-
9 stone wet through. Movement 3. Fair enough. That's half the course. Attack 3. That's pretty weak. He's no, prize champ fighter. Defense 3.
Same thing.
He's going to get
That's
beaten.
pretty standard.
So he's kind of a normal man, really. Endurance 6.
Willpower 6 is
willpower
actually
6.
pretty good.
Yeah.
I think it's
It's not like he's got a lot to spend him on with these stats,
No, I think he's got 3 ammo with his drug spray, so it does seem like he is going to try and use that 3 times. He is the support of this whole.
He's the
team.
debuff guy.
He wants to go
He's
in,
the debuff guy.
it,
Yeah.
and hopefully, and then stick everything else on defense. I think.
Yeah.
You're gonna put your 2 attack, because you can run in and just do that anywhere.
Yeah. I mean, it's not the end of the world if you lose him, as long as he's
60 points.
As long as he's done enough, not damage, but enough debuffing.
Yeah.
To make him worthwhile.
Do you know, thinking about it, him and Film Bane, they're a nice combo because Film Bane wants to go in with lots of attack,
Yeah.
but he doesn't want to put much in defense.
So this guy can.
So suddenly he can do that, really force Film Bane to run in and do a lot of attack.
Yeah, that's it.
With the combo or whatever.
Or you stick Bane out, and you get him surrounded, and then if you're very careful, you can innovate 2 or 3 of the guys who are attacking Bane, and suddenly they're dropping counters. So they're either not attacking him, which is good, or they're not defending, which is good for Bane. So there's good Bane support. Yeah, definitely.
We'll talk about Psychologist next.
Psychologist. That is he can. Well, the big thing with it for me is he can automatically solve the riddle machine. The objective riddlers machine. So that's what 3 VPs if you run
3
into one of them.
VP to
You usually have to mess about rolling dice to see if it explodes, or you solve it, or nothing happens. This guy just runs up and
gets it.
solves it. 3 VPs in the back.
Another big deal. I was telling Pete earlier. He does someone within 20, he can cure their mental disorder. That includes Two-Face. So, you know, you can stop people from doing all this stuff. But, like, you know, Joker gang, they've got quite a lot of bloodthirsty or whatever sitting in there. Yeah. You can just get rid of all this. You can stop all these extra dice. You can stop whatever. Sometimes you might want to leave one or two of them, but...
yeah, some of them are more a hindrance than a help. But,
yeah, let's actually combine. We're talking about Hidden now. Hidden is another ability.
Yeah, so Hidden is where you can deploy anywhere on the board, yeah, but you must be further than 10 centimetres from any objective. But combine that with Psychologist, you can automatically solve a riddle machine, so it's nearly a guaranteed 3 VP.
He's got you 3 VPs in turn 1.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what he's done.
Yeah.
He's got you 3 VPs, so I mean...
I can't see the downside to that at all.
He's pretty good, and the other thing, the last rule he has... Oh, sorry, he's got Follow Me, not the last rule. Got Follow Me, which is every henchman within 10 gets one, for a spending special, they all get 1 movement counter. Which, I don't know.
It's alright, it's okay. If you dash in last turn, if he's still alive, and he's near henchmen, you dash in for objectives, you could do another D6 with, you know, your movement, you know?
Do you know why I realised that? Why it's kind of good? Because if you are planning to do that, you can actually do that in safety, that your guys aren't going to get knocked over, not even able to stand up.
Yeah, yeah.
That happened to us in our last game. I was worried that you're going to knock people over, and I was going to have to spend movement counters.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. That's it. So if everybody get up, it could be a little worse for the room.
But now I'm thinking, hey, you know, follow me, stick it on them,
yeah.
They get these counters, then you don't have to worry about assigning that at the start.
Yeah, yeah.
Just, again, more reason to use it, activate him first.
Yeah.
He should be the guy you activate first. You run him in, you go, he's going to die, I don't care. He is expendable as.
He is, as long as you've used this in the game already, which is his last and most filthiest rule, if you ask me, which is death or exile. This is awesome. How much does it cost? 2 special counters, right? If you know about arrest, that's where you run up to a KO'd character and can take it out of the game so long as you get into base contact. Well, death or exile is the same thing, but it works at a range of 20 centimetres. So if any of the enemy are knocked out, and this guy gets within 20 centimetres of them, you can just point at them and say, you're out of the game, you're a casualty. Which is insane, you know. It's
brilliant.
Really good.
It's brilliant. The shame about that, and where KM have been very clever, is this gang is so blood-centric. Yeah. They're already dead.
True. That's where it's a bit of a waste, yeah, definitely. Because if somebody's KO'd with this clan, they're probably, like Si says, they're probably dismembered. You know, so.
It's probably, if you're planning on taking him and utilising that sort of skill, I think that you're probably going to be thinking more along the lines of probably Talia, and then you probably want another free agent in there. And the other free agent, you want...
Bane's doing a lot of stun. Bane himself.
Bane's doing stun. Okay, so he's a sidekick.
So you can go along knocking him down, and then Scarecrow can go along saying, haha, you're out.
Well, imagine this. You got Talia, you got Bane, you got Killer Croc, and you got, because Killer Croc, or whoever, another guy who does 2 stun.
No, Clayface just pulverizes people, I forget.
Clayface is, actually...
He doesn't need any help.
They're both blood stun.
Yeah.
But, you know, so they... Well, same thing. You know, you leave those stuns, and then you know it's another turn.
There's always the drug spray, of course. It does do stuns. So if there's people wobbling around and low, you know, who are damaged already, you spray. You do the drug spray, stun, maybe a blood here and there at close range, and then you can start distance arresting people, death or exile. It's a great rule, though. Even
it is lovely.
Maybe wasted in this clan, but it's still handy to have, I think.
Okay, and last up. Let's talk about the henchmen.
And thus another corner of the world sees the light.
So we're going to do these henchmen in an order of lowest cost to highest cost, just because they're all ninjas, they all have stealth, and they all have martial artists. Martial artists we covered already. That's when you're numerical inferiority.
Yeah, don't suffer from getting outnumbered.
None of that. And stealth is you can only see them when they're 20 centimeters away. No.
Which is incredibly annoying when you're playing against these guys. It doesn't sound much, but it really is annoying. You say, I'm going to shoot that guy, you can't see him, he's 23 centimeters away.
Yeah, so yeah, you can't stay with the ruler guard. Yeah, okay, he's that far away.
Pre-measuring is a winner there, definitely.
Cool. So first up, we're talking about Shadow, who is 26 points. He's got a funding of 100, Attack 3, defense 3, willpower 4. You notice that these guys all have willpower 4, and that really bugs me.
Just for the cost, 26 points, and you've got 4 counters. That does seem very weak on the face of it, yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, equipment-wise, he's got a bow, which is handy in reach. So the reach rule is you got the 3 centimeters, so you can actually attack through your own guys. Yeah. Which is good.
Well, it's not bad because if you're attacking through your own guy, the guy you're attacking can't hit you back unless he's also got reach.
He's got handy as well, so you can re-roll it.
Yeah.
Strength 5 plus. All these ninjas, strength 5 plus, I believe. Are they? Yeah, they are. So they're all strength 5 plus. So again, we're looking at this. Talia's weakness is all of these guys. They've all got the same weakness. So yeah, 26 points, $100. So I already think he's kind of over.
Well, $100, he has got a smoke bomb. That's probably what that's paying for. Rate of fire 1. It'd be a grenade, won't it? Is it a grenade? Yeah, it's a grenade.
Smoke bomb, yeah. So you roll.
He's only got one of them, one ammo. So you put this template down. Short range, so it's only got a
20 centimeter range.
Yeah. And it's got the smoke effect. I don't know what that does. What's smoke effect?
You can't see anyone in it.
Fair enough. Yeah, that makes sense.
Honestly, I keep thinking about how you use this guy, and I can't for the life of me think of it. Smoke. Now,
is that you can't see through the?
You can't see it in it or through it.
It's a big ball of blocks line of sight. Basically.
Yeah, blocks line of sight for a turn. Yeah, I mean it's good. It's fluffy. I mean it makes sense. But for the life of me, I cannot work out where you really use it.
Well,
this guy just
alleyway. You're facing a gang with a lot of guns, and they've got 2 gunmen at the bottom of the alleyway. Throw this guy down first. They can't shoot through that, can they?
That's what you do, yeah. But
you dash in and do this.
I suppose it should be more obvious than I'm making out. But seriously, I cannot use him. Every time I put him in, he doesn't do anything. He's got undercover as well, which means he gets to deploy it for over 20 centimeters in. But you know what? Again, he doesn't really
setting him up for a smoke bomb. We presume.
He just doesn't do anything. I'm 26 points. He's my last pick. I'd rather take one of the Black Gate guys. Right, next up, let's talk about the bow and arrow guy, Seeker.
Seeker, yeah, 27 points, one more than the last guy. Funding 200 because this guy is the archer of the family. He's got a little bow. In fact, it's an incredibly irritating bow, if I remember rightly. He's 27 points, he's strength 5, as they all are, all these ninjas. Movement 3, attack 3, defense 4, so he's slightly more defensive, endurance 5.
Which I don't get. Why is the other guy defense 4?
Don't know. But he's willpower 4 again, so he's sluggish for a ninja, really.
I'll tell you what, with the kit that you give them, I just can't look past giving him night vision. So he can see the entire board. He's got the whole board to shoot. The poison arrow on him is just amazing.
What is it? How's he got night vision? Is that the good aim?
It's no. Night vision part of their kit. We'll do their kit.
Yeah, cool. So you can give him night vision, which is handy because this bow is probably what. Take us through the bow side because it's.
So bow he can't move or shoot, but he's got an ability called good aim, so he can move and shoot. It's a bit weird. It's just in case Catwoman goes and steals his bow, then she can't move and shoot. So that's the mechanic there. So he's got 2 normal arrows and 1 poison arrow. The normal arrows are 2 damage.
2 blood damage.
2 blood, and the poison arrow has got paralyzed. If that hits
2 blood as well, and paralyzed.
I've played against Batman crew a few times, and I don't know why, but Gordon always seems to get paralyzed. I think every time I played against Gordon, he's paralyzed and stuck.
You just like the visual of that, Gordon walking along going, face down in the gutter.
He has a stroke or something at the time. But anyway, I really rate him because he can just keep on, get him to an ammo crate or whatever. He's got 3 turns of shooting before he's even out of bullets. He has so much to do. He covers the whole board with that.
And Sai's very good at having this guy near an ammo crate as well.
That's what he does. Yeah, he finds the ammo crate and stands there. Defense 4. So essentially, he runs forwards. He takes 1 shot. You're looking like you're rolling out of the fence.
Mechanic side.
Mechanic is you always wound on a 3. It's always at to wound roll that I'm always like, can he do it? So that's always a critical moment.
3 up's not bad, is it?
Yeah, so he's good. I'll tell you what, 27 points. He is usually my first pick ninja. Okay, well anyway, we're going to the next ninja.
Yep. again, he's this guy's 30 points, so they're creeping up, we're going up the ranks. Martial artist, stealth, elite ninja, so you need one of the leaders, sidekicks.
Willpower, as usual.
4, willpower 4. Strength 5, move 3, attack 3, defense 4, like the last guy. Endurance 5, same stats. No funding, because this guy's got a katana, which is handy.
Sharp.
Nice.
He
nice.
is actually quite.
This is the workhorse of the gang, isn't he?
He's just a guy.
He's just the guy who gets the job done.
It's Ying, and they basically said, we just need generic guy with a sword. This is the guy in the background of every martial arts film you've ever seen. This guy. But you know, he's just boring.
He's great. He's old. I like him.
He's all right. He's all right. He's got climbing shoes. The climbing shoes just have a bizarre rule. So they can walk up buildings and you don't treat it as difficult terrain, and
you can stop halfway.
You can stop up as you spend a special counter. Which, where the hell are you going to get special counters with their willpower 4? I don't know, but anyway.
It's going to take him 4 years to climb anything like this.
He can do it, but
But he's got a katana, so where the hell is he going with his katana if he's climbing up walls?
I don't know.
Is he after pigeons? God knows.
I don't know.
Climbing shoes. Anything else to say about this guy? Handy, reroll to hit, and sharp.
Reroll to wound.
Very nasty with 2 blood damage. Katana.
He is just bog standard guy.
Yeah. He's a good damage output, so you know.
And next up, we get Yang, who's his brother, I think.
He's gone up by a point.
I'll tell you what, 1 point more, and get rid of those climbing shoes and put in combo with katana, and you've got the same guy. But combo with katana, oh my god, it's amazing compared to for 1 point to get combo. That's just it's a no-brainer to me.
Yeah, definitely.
He's an awesome character. Like Yang is awesome. Ying's okay. I mean, as points value, yeah, he's good. Two blood is decent.
Ying and Yang, 2 sides of the same coin. So Yang here being decent and Ying being.
There you go. Yeah. Oh, but you know what? Like Yang is 31 points for 4 willpower, so it's still pretty pricey here. None of these ninjas are cheap. So anyway, we'll do that, and we're on to the last character, who is Lotus. So Lotus actually has 5 willpower. There you go.
And we cost him 48 points for this guy. This guy's obviously the grizzled veteran of the crew.
Look at those stats. Attack 3, huh?
Yeah, attack 3. That's a bit of a shame. Defense 4, endurance 6. He's gone up a bit of endurance. Otherwise the same, strength 5 again.
Strength 5, yeah.
He's costing you $100 out of your funding as well, because he's got shurikens.
Shurikens, but the shurikens are actually, I've used this guy a few times. He's good. I like it.
He's an irritant. You know, he's peppering away with shurikens.
Throwing in short
2
range.
stun.
Shurikens really give you an option. Yeah. You don't actually have to, because all the other ninjas you pretty much have to run and attack. So they're a little bit predictable. This guy, on the other hand, he's got a little bit of options.
Yeah. I'm sure him and Scarecrow discussed stuff before the battle, because this guy can output 2 stun. You know.
I even like.
With a rate of fire 2 as
He's
well.
got dodge and reflexes.
Dodge is always nice.
Dodge and reflexes. Dodge is part of the same as acrobat, so you can spend your movement counters to dodge things. Reflexes means you can re-roll. This guy is never going to get hit by bullets. If you're against a bullet-heavy gang, he's actually a pretty good one to go out against. Somebody who's going to take shots at him.
Well, he can draw the bullets out, can't he? He can dance around in the street, peppering them with shurikens, draw out the bullets, they're out of ammo, bang.
I should point out rapid fire as well. If you spend an extra special counter, he gets +1 dice when he's shooting. So he's already got throwing, so if you put an extra special in there, he's going to have 3 dice for every shuriken. Yeah. So he's actually pretty accurate. That's pretty amazing, seeing as they do 2 stun damage each. Again, strength 5+, it can really, really hamper you. You know, when you go in and you're thinking, oh, I'm gonna hit, did loads of stuff. No, miss.
Yeah, fails.
Rolling those fives is just costly.
What else is about this guy? So he's got the usual stealth, martial artist, all that stuff, elite ninja. Yeah, he just brings another angle, I think, to the generic ninja guys. The rest of them are kind of generic, aren't they? You know, run in, batter, chop. This guy can hang back and whittle away at the enemy as they come in. Not bad. But he is 48 points. Seems steep to me, but he's definitely irritating for the opponent.
You've never shied away from drawing blood.
True.
but always with purpose, always with greater goals. This was simply an unnecessary casualty.
Okay, now we're going to talk about some pros and cons of the League. So, what you've probably gathered so far is it's a pretty pricey gang.
Yeah.
You know, like everything's kind of expensive. I'd say the biggest pro is that there's a lot of blood damage in there.
Yeah, you can almost, you can quite easily see the fluff of this gang, you know. I think they were putting it together. They are quite pricey, so there's few of them. But they've got stealth. Everybody's got stealth. Everybody's a martial artist, so it's as if they're trying to circle around their enemy, you know, at distance, and then when the time is right, they zoom in and strike, you know, and then possibly run away again. You know, it's almost hit and run tactics.
They're going with the fluff there, really. But
yeah. Well, there's a lot of that in this game. That's what I love about this game is everything seems to be written to the fluff, you know.
Definitely.
So, but that leaves this clan, you know, needing very often a sidekick or something like that, just to bring that extra dimension that you need if you're really trying to put a competitive list together.
I think so. I don't think that this if you're going to try and take a 350 point list and it's all League of Shadows, it just feels like you know, do you take
it'd be an unforgiving list to play, wouldn't it? You know, you'd not be able to make many mistakes with
I've actually played against you a few times with all League, and I found it very it's like you're already on the back foot. That's how I always feel, because your opponent generally have more stuff than you and whatever, and it just feels like everything has to work. And the fact that you're trying to get it, you've got less models than your opponent, and you have to engage them, and it just feels like that's already putting pressure on you, that you have to walk forward. So,
a very tactical clan. Lots of good tactics needed, I think, to get the best out of it.
Yeah. I've been using, as I say,
the opposite to what I use, which is the Joker clan, to be fair. So.
Yeah, which needs no forethought at all.
No, not really.
Anyway, next time. But yeah, I really enjoy them though. I think that they've I think there's a lot of skill involved, and they're, you know, they have a high defense value all around as well.
Yeah.
You notice the high defense actually means they don't just all fall over. We've had a lot of times we've been in a mash. You'll end up losing because
I mean, I've had three of my very low cost chumps battering away at one of these ninjas, and it takes ages to take them down. They are ducking and diving and, you know, dodging everything.
Yeah.
Last game, you know, I was trying to get through one ninja with two big guys. I think it was at one point, Mr. Hammer and Titan Clown. Couldn't get through this one guy, and then Clayface rushes in to the rescue and just marmalised everybody, you know. So,
as he should.
So the ninja was just dancing around going, aha, you can't get me, and then Clayface comes around the corner and smashes everybody. So there is that side to it, maybe, you know, a bit more defensive, or again, it's tactics. You've got to hold up and then bring in the right guy as support. I think in that case it was Clayface, but Film Bane might not be a bad choice.
Yeah. I think I have to use them more. I've only used them a handful of times.
And you do have the options of Film Bane, which brings a bit more solid punch, and then you've got Scarecrow, who's very tricksy with his stuff. You know, with his drug spray and his super arrest ability, Death or Exile. But yeah, it's a small clan. Maybe not a great clan for a new beginner to the game.
Fairly unforgiving, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Is the thing, yeah. Okay, and let's move on to our last topic, which is what we'd like to see in the future.
Okay, well, I think I've covered what I think. The gaps on this clan, maybe more free agents, one or two more free agents for them to use.
I think, yeah, well...
I mean, they've got very few missile weapons now. I know that's probably...
I was going to touch that.
A ninja walking around with a submachine gun, not very fluffy, but I'm sure there's some more bows, maybe? More throwing stars.
Okay, here's...
Daggers, you know.
Here's what throwing daggers wouldn't be bad. Yeah. I'd like to see some more elite ninjas in there. So maybe you do another pack and it's got 2 70-point ninjas, but make them really good with the kitchen sink and willpower 6.
Yes.
You know, make them 4/4s and
master ninjas or whatever.
Yeah, good, really good ninjas, like proper, nearly assassins. I'd like to see Damian Wayne as a League of Shadows as well. Even though he's just with...
Alright, I'm ignorant of this guy's story, so...
Well, he's just with Batman at the moment, and
Has he been brought back to life?
Well, Talia is his mother, and
oh, right, fair enough. Yeah, I am behind on the comics.
Talia is his mother, and yeah.
Okay.
But it just feels like.
Well, you don't want to be seen out in the streets with your mum, though, do you? You know?
He is a League of Shadows true and true. I'd like to see him. Why can't he be affiliate in Batman and League of Shadows?
Yeah.
He should definitely have
family issues.
I want to see that. And that's, you know what? Come on, KM, fix that. Just put that little bit in. That's an easy one. Yeah, it's expensive ninjas. I don't think that the ranged fire is. You know what? It's a bit of a sore issue that we don't have it. But you know what?
It's not what ninjas do.
It's not what they do. And you know, if you're looking at the films and any of the backstories in the comics or whatever, it's never really about that. Possibly a kind of poisoning mechanic at the start of the game, randomly choosing a character and blah blah blah. You know, this guy's gotten.
Do you know what make these guys like super powerful is if stealth was 10 centimeters instead of 20.
Yeah, bring that.
Can you imagine that? So you cannot see these guys like the alien. You know, you can't see him until he's right on top of you, and then it's too late, sort of thing. That would be awesome. 20 is bad enough. It's quite irritating.
20, I think 20 is about right.
20's
so they're not immune to. There's loads of, like, you got your true vision. You've got the lampposts, which you're meant to utilise better to try and actually get them out there. So there's not exactly. It's not like.
It's the I don't know.
You're forcing them to come in close anyway.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point. They're ninjas.
True, and then you'd be less able to draw out the bullets. You know, get your opponent to waste his bullets on Mr. Dodge guy and stuff like that.
You can do that.
It's not a bad plan at all, but there's maybe more dimensions can be built in the future. I think definitely.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Anyway, that's the end of this review. Tell us what you think of it. Which clan, which gang, what you want us to do next? Because we're up for it. We've got most of the stuff anyway, and we're going to keep on playing games. Anyway, cheers. Let us know what you think.
See ya.
As you said, Detective, this is not over.